If you're looking to know the difference between living in Weston and living in Parkland, then this video is for you. If you have decided to move to South Florida, you must have known the cities, and you are still in the early stage, then you definitely should know these two cities, because these are the two major cities for the A+ school zone, if you're looking to live in South Florida. So let's start this video right now. So what's up guys, welcome to my brand new video. My name is Komal Acharya and I'm a local real estate agent in South Florida area. We help tons of buyers who are relocating to South Florida. In this COVID time, it's been crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy
going this market, and we have helping so many buyers who are moving to South Florida or in Florida in general. So if you're one of them, or you want to have some information, you want to move next 6 months or 12 months, definitely comment me below. I would love to hear from you. By the way, if you're new to my channel, you will find lots of videos about Florida, neighborhoods, pros and cons, many things, and also the real estate. So make sure you subscribe my channel. I need your support, guys. And I do a lot of research. I spend so much time to making this video, and I would love to have your engagement. Make sure you subscribe or hit that like button. Or if you don't like the videos, you can push down to, or you can leave a comment so that I can improve myself. My number one point is the schools. So both the city has the A+ school zone. Anywhere you live in both of the cities, you will not go wrong. These are two exceptional cities you will find in South Florida where school systems are amazing. Any of the zip code you choose. So if there are like some other cities like Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, there's so many other cities you will find in South Florida where all the zip code doesn't have an A+ school zone. So you really have to know which zip code you are choosing while you are renting or buying a property. You really have to do great homework. In this two city, you don't have to worry about. Trust me, you will not go wrong. For the schools, all the reviews wise or the grading wise, everything perfect in any of the zip code you live in those two cities. My number two fact we are going to compare is the real estate, my favorite thing.
These are a few of my favorite things.
So the main comparison between Parkland and Weston is the year built. Parkland is a little newer town. So even till today, you do find the new constructions there. In a Weston, to find a new construction is like a dream. There are some new construction, but those are like high-end luxury houses. It starts around 1.5 million. And that's something not affordable to many of the middle-class families. So you don't find too many choices of new construction in Weston. Actually, they're not even few of them I can even talk about. But in a Parkland, you have a tons of choices which are built, like started building around after 2016 or 2017 plus, and even 2021 built also. You may be able to see that. So that's the biggest difference in a real estate. Now talking about the per square foot price, both the areas are expensive. Those per square foot prices are both areas are almost similar. However, the Weston houses are much little bigger. So even though per square foot you are paying almost similar, the one disadvantage I told you, the year built may be a little bit earlier than the Parkland. However, the houses are much bigger, the layouts are much bigger, and the lot sizes are much bigger. So in general, when after 2015 any of the build you see in a South Florida area, the lot sizes started reducing. In opposite to that, in a Weston, because mostly the Weston got developed around 2000, or most of them are like 1995. So in that time still, the builders were giving a good lot size, and also a lot of single story houses you will be able to see there. There is another difference I see in both the houses or the real estate is it's like inventory. So both areas has almost similarly low inventory all the time. It's not just about the COVID time, the real estate, it's really hot. But even pre-COVID, both the areas had the very, very hot real estate market. So if you buy any of this city, you are not going to go wrong. Your property appreciation will be much higher. However, I saw the Parkland houses appreciation is a little bit higher than the Weston because they are a little bit newer houses, So it's when you sell house, let's say you want to sell house in near future, then Parkland has a little bit more value than the Weston you will see. So when you actually look at the inventory, available inventory on both the cities, I feel favored for both cities. If you have a liberty to, overcome some of the other cons what one of the other city has, then the real estate should not be the one filter for you because the both cities are amazing to live there. Now let's compare the recreational or the activities for the kids. So both the city has amazing activity offer from the city, and the infrastructure is amazing because both city has a lot of parks. The city offers tons of activities, from their side, and also, you will find also from the homeowner associations on both city. However, since Parkland has little newer town feel, so the homeowner association or the clubhouses are much more beautiful than you will find in a Weston. So another point this will bring me to is HOA fees. That's the homeowner association fees. The Parkland has much higher fees than the Weston. So Weston property, even at some point, some people I've seen they are paying a little more higher, even though you are not getting to newer built. However, almost be or maybe the similar prices, but you are saving some money in the HOA. So that's the biggest difference, another I feel, between those two cities. Since Parkland has been new, majority of the HOA, only few HOAs are there which has a below 300. Otherwise, is more than $500 per month.
Oh my God!
You are at least going to spend if you're living in Parkland. However, if you want the beautiful clubhouses, resort style living, then definitely those are the good choices. Whatever you are paying, you are getting back in the terms of enjoyment or the convenience. In reverse, Weston, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Those clubhouses are still beautiful. You do get the tons of activities even from the homeowner association or the HOA to offer, the clubhouse to offer. But at the same time, it's not that beautiful like Parkland. Now let's talk about both of the cities' infrastructure. So the word I'm using, infrastructure, is like how the layouts are made for those cities does matter at some point, because I've seen many people suffering who live in a Parkland, especially in the newer construction on a little bit on a corner side. If you check out in a map like a Watercrest, Mira-Lago, or Parkland Bay, those communities, they do have to drive down a lot to get to the stores. So it's like a 3 to 4 mile drive to go to the Walmart or Publix, the grocery stores. And it's the shopping area basically not too close in a Parkland, because Parkland has been very strict on a commercial real estate. They have a very strict zoning laws. So residential and commercial both are, on a very, very strong, comparatively. In other side, in a Weston, every community, like within 1 to 2 mile radius, you will find lots of like a shopping area. So even though the zoning is still strict there compared to some other cities like Coral Springs, Deerfield, Delray, Pompano, however, it's less strict than Parkland, I will feel. Even I've faced a couple of my clients, they bought a property in a Parkland Bay and they cannot even plant the fruit trees. That's how the strict HOA is, and you got to be very specific what you're planting, what kind of landscaping you are doing. So if you're one of them who loves gardening, then make sure you do the homework, or you talk to your agent before kind of going to those properties. Now let's talk about the landscaping, or how does it look from the top, those two cities, right? So if you see these all drone shots, both the cities looks beautiful. Like both has a lot of greeneries, lot of trees you will find if you just even walk around, drive around on those two cities. However, I feel personally the Parkland has more landscaping. It has still like more broad roads compared to the Weston. And because it's a newer town, you do get the feel of newer town. If you're walking around, driving around, doing scooter, it has more like a country feel. And the Weston also is not like a city feel, however, but compared to both, I feel the Weston has less landscaping than Parkland. So, and Parkland is very quiet, very, very quiet.
Rod, are you okay?
I need to go to my quiet place.
Some people don't like that kind of thing. So if you're one of them who doesn't like the quiet environment, then you should try to think of other city. Compared to Parkland, the Weston has a little more, I would say the more infrastructure set, it's more developed, I feel. So the malls, I told you, they're very close by. In a 1 to 2 mile radius, you may find a lot of parks, a lot of shopping areas, or even, the apartments, condos, those kind of also things you will see. However, in Parkland, you will rarely see the condos or townhouses like any of the high-rise buildings. There is none of the high-rise buildings there. So it's very, very, the very residential style you will see in that city. Now, another most important point I want to point out is the highways and the commute time. So if you're one of them who has to have access to highway, then Parkland is not a good city, because if you see this in a map, it's like in a corner. The only highways connected is a sawgrass, or maybe you can take a 441 on a corner 33067. That's the other side of the Parkland. That's something it's connected to that. Where you can take the local road and take the other highways. And in other side, if you talk about the Weston has the 75. That's like a main highway which is connected, and also has a sawgrass, so if you want to go more north. And the 75 is connected to 95, 595. Those are the main highways going, north to south or east to west. So if you're one of them who has a work in Miami or, some other towns in the south, then Weston would be really, really convenient town for you. And even though sometimes you see the mileage like 32, 30, 35 mile distance, however, because of the access to 75, that makes life much easier and much faster. So always think of this commute times when you're choosing a location, like compare with the work location where you have. If you're working virtually, then it doesn't matter wherever you live.
It doesn't matter.
Right? So many people are choosing Parkland, doesn't matter because of the virtual settings of the work. And however, many people just simply choose that, even though they have this disadvantage because the city is so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
The houses are so beautiful and tons of new construction there. So if you're one of them who loves new construction, then Parkland has lots of choices for you. I hope this video has given you more insight about those two cities. And if you're, want to see more neighborhoods and some of the other things like individual pros and cons of these two cities, I have other videos like, I made. So you can check out those links. And thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video.